Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Humaira Aiwali and I am a participant of teacher training at Rehan School Hall campus. Today we are going to discuss a very important topic: how to set boundaries in relationship and stay true to yourself. Boundaries help us protect our emotions, values, and personal space. They teach us others how to treat us with respect and help us maintain healthy, balanced relationships. In these discussions, we will explore why boundaries are necessary, how to set them, and how they help us stay true to who we are. Let's begin with our first question with ChatGPT.
Hey there, how's it going? Let me know if there's anything I can help you with today.
Okay, what does it mean to set boundaries in a relationship?
Great question. Setting boundaries in a relationship basically means establishing clear guidelines about what is acceptable and what isn't. It can involve communicating your needs, respecting each other's limits, and ensuring that both parties feel safe and respected. It helps create a healthy, balanced dynamic.
Okay, why are boundaries important for maintaining healthy relationship?
Boundaries are super important because they help maintain respect and trust between people. They prevent misunderstandings and resentment, and they also help each person feel safe and valued. When boundaries are respected, it really promotes a more balanced and fulfilling relationship overall.
Okay,
You're
who,
welcome.
who can
If you have any,
How can we recognize when our boundaries are being crossed?
that's a great point. Usually, when boundaries are crossed, it's important for the person whose boundaries are being violated to speak up and communicate clearly. It's also helpful for both people to be open to feedback and willing to adjust their behavior. In some cases, having a supportive environment or seeking outside help like counseling can also be beneficial.
Okay, how I can control our crossing boundaries?
That's a thoughtful question. It often starts with open communication, letting others know what your boundaries are and why they matter. Consistently reinforcing those boundaries and being assertive yet respectful can help. It's also important to foster mutual respect and understanding so that both parties are mindful of each other's limits. And of course, leading by example can really make a difference.
Okay, if I not controls our boundaries relationships, can I lose our relationship?
Absolutely. It can definitely impact the relationship. When boundaries aren't respected or maintained, it can lead to misunderstandings, resentment, and even a breakdown in trust over time that can definitely weaken the bond between people. That's why it's so important to address any boundary issues early on and to keep communication open.
Okay, if I can cross our boundaries, can I lose our relationship?
Yes, it's definitely possible. When boundaries are consistently crossed, it can erode trust and lead to feelings of disrespect or being undervalued. Over time, that can definitely strain or even lead to the end of a relationship. That's why it's so crucial to be proactive and maintain healthy boundaries for the relationship's long-term well-being.
Okay, what are some examples of emotional, physical, and mental boundaries?
Sure, for emotional boundaries, that might include things like not sharing personal feelings or vulnerabilities until you feel comfortable, or setting limits on how much emotional support you can give. Physical boundaries might involve personal space, touch, or even how comfortable you are with certain physical interactions. Mental boundaries could be about respecting each other's opinions, not dismissing or judging differing viewpoints, and allow each other to think independently. All of these kinds of boundaries help create a balanced and respectful relationship.
Okay, who can setting boundaries and help building mutual respect between people?
Setting boundaries really helps foster mutual respect because it ensures that each person's needs and limits are acknowledged and valued. While people communicate their boundaries clearly, it reduces misunderstandings and helps build trust. And It also shows that each person's committed to creating a healthy dynamic where everyone feels safe and respected. Over time, this leads to stronger, more harmonious relationships.
Okay. How can you communicate your boundaries clearly without hurting others?
That's a great question. The key is to be clear and direct, also being kind and empathetic. You can use I statements to express your needs and feelings, like saying, I feel uncomfortable when, or I need some space when. It's also helpful to be open to listening to the other person's perspective. It's to frame your boundaries in a way that highlights mutual respect. Ultimately, it's about being compassionate and maintaining open lines of communication.
Okay, what happened when we fail to set boundaries in a relationship? When we fail to set boundaries in a relationship?
When we fail to set boundaries, it can lead to a bunch of issues. For one, it can cause resentment to build up because one or both people might feel taken advantage of or overlooked. It can also lead to misunderstandings and conflicts, and over time, it can erode trust and intimacy. Ultimately, the relationship might become imbalanced or even unhealthy, making it harder to maintain a strong and supportive connection.
Okay. How can boundaries help protect your mental health and self esteem?
Boundaries are really crucial for mental health and self-esteem because they help you protect your energy and well-being. When you set clear boundaries, you're essentially honoring your own needs and limits, which boosts self-respect and confidence. It also reduces stress and anxiety because you're not constantly overextending yourself or feeling overwhelmed. Overall, healthy boundaries create a safe space where you can thrive and maintain a positive sense of self.
Okay. What role does self awareness play in maintains healthy boundaries?
Self awareness is absolutely key because it helps you understand your own needs, limits, and triggers. When we're self aware, you can identify what makes you comfortable or uncomfortable and communicate those boundaries more effectively. It also allows you to reflect on your experiences and adjust your boundaries as needed. In short, the more self aware you are, the better you can maintain healthy boundaries and nurture positive relationships.
Okay. How can you stay true to yourself while still being considerations of other?
That's a wonderful balance to strike. It really comes down to clear and compassionate communication. You can stay true to yourself by being honest about your needs and limits while also showing empathy and respect for the other person's perspective. It helps to listen actively, express yourself kindly, and find compromises when needed. Ultimately, it's all about mutual respect and maintaining that authentic connection.
Okay. Can you compromise in one person's is compulsory or two persons?
It really depends on the situation and the relationship dynamic. Ideally, compromise should be a mutual process involving both people so that both parties feel heard and respected. That said, sometimes one person might need to be more flexible than the other, especially if there's an imbalance in the relationship. The key is to approach it with empathy, open communication, and a willingness to understand each other's perspectives.
Okay, what the difference between being selfish and setting healthy boundaries?
That's a great distinction. Being selfish usually means prioritizing your own needs at the expense of others, often without considering their feelings or well-being. On the other hand, setting healthy boundaries is about respecting both your own needs and the needs of others. It's about creating a balance where everyone feels respected and valued. So healthy boundaries involve empathy, communication, and mutual respect, whereas selfishness leans more to a disregard for others.
Okay, my next question is how can you re-establish boundaries when we once broken?
That's a really important question. When boundaries are broken, it's essential to address the issue directly and calmly. Reestablishing boundaries often involves open communication, reaffirming what your limits are, and being consistent in enforcing them. It can also help to have a constructive conversation about what happened and why it's important to maintain those boundaries. Over time, consistency and clear communication can help reinforce those boundaries and rebuild trust.
Okay, thank you, ChatGPT, for sharing this interesting informations.
I'm glad you found it helpful. If you have any more questions or need anything else, just let me know. Always happy to help.
Okay, no, I have no any more questions. Allah Hafiz. See you in the next video.
Alhamdulillah, sounds good.